Incumbent Donnie Lambeth says he broke with his party by introducing a Medicaid expansion bill. His challenger, Dan Besse, says his opponent didn't go far enough. The challenger is Dan Besse, a longtime city council member in Winston-Salem. The incumbent is Donnie Lambeth, a former longtime school board member before winning a seat in the North Carolina House.
There are some really significant differences between us.
The differences include education, health care, the pending constitutional amendments, and President Trump.
I believe that he has been tragically divisive and often allowed real policy concerns to be submerged under personal grievances.
Besse says legislators have forgotten how to cooperate and questions whether some Republican leaders are taking their cue from the president on how to act in office.
You know, there's things that I think he's done very, very well.
Lambeth describes the president's performance as a mixed bag, but likes the job he's done with the economy.
I'm not one that gets focused a lot on a lot of the social issues that people get very emotional about. I think some of those he might could have handled a little differently. But I think overall, he's up for re-election. I'll vote for him again.
On education, Besse says Republicans don't get it. He says the top issue for companies looking to relocate to North Carolina isn't lower tax rates.
They want to know about our schools. They want to know if our schools are going to provide the kind of environment and the kind of education that their employees' children will need. They want to know whether our community colleges will provide the training that they need for an effective, trained, skilled workforce.
The reason we looked at the corporate rate was to rev up the economy, to attract more businesses. I mean, we were hearing from business that the corporate rate was not competitive with other states. So we actually reduced that to give them an advantage to be able to recruit new business.
On health care, Lambeth says he opposes the call for Medicaid expansion in North Carolina, but he did introduce his own bill to provide limited expansion for working people.
That was not very popular down here. You might say that's not even a moderate position by a Republican. But that bill was designed to help. I came down here in part to help people. And that bill was designed to help 300,000 and 400,000 people that can't afford the premiums that the employer passes along to them.
You know what happened? That bill went straight to committee from which it never emerged and in which it died. And guess what? He co-chairs that committee. That tells me one of two things. Either he wasn't really trying hard enough to get it done, or he couldn't get it done.
On the proposed constitutional amendments, Republicans generally support all 6 of them, while Democrats oppose them. Besse says he's most concerned with the one changing how the Board of Elections settles disputes, creating a potential deadlock vote. He believes it's designed to limit voting rights.
It's a backdoor attempt to end the expansion of voting opportunity that has helped increase participation in our communities, especially disadvantaged communities, communities of color.
For Lambeth, it's voter ID.
And I think that's the one that certainly, I think, giving people the opportunity to vote on that with an understanding of the pros and cons is one that we need to resolve.
Republicans make up the majority of voters in the 75th District, but Democrats and unaffiliated voters are not far behind. But it's a district that voted for President Trump by a wide margin. 60% of voters in this district supported the Republican candidate in the 2016 presidential election. Something you may not know about the candidates in this race, Besse says he's addicted to running.
My knees are shot because I've been running long distances for 30-plus years, but I can't stand to give it up.
Lambeth says he loves being a grandfather, with one exception.
Look, I am great keeping the grandkids and picking them up, but I do not want to clean poopy diapers. But I had to clean a few, and that's something I don't like doing.
Lambeth says if his party remains in power, he doesn't see much chance of Medicaid expansion passing through the legislature. Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.